Elon Musk is the biggest troll right now in the world.
That's true.
He's deciding what happens to the crypto. I mean, look what's been happening to those guys. 1 minute he sells. Okay, no, this is the greatest thing. We're going to get, Elon Musk, we're going to buy $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, right? Yep. Then they make nearly $500 million. It was $1 trillion. It was $1 billion. Then they made $500 million. And then he says, we're selling. We're no longer accepting Bitcoin. Then he says to CNBC yesterday, I never said we sold. We still have the Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin drops from whatever, 64,000 to 42, 43,000. Market's going crazy. Then it's complimenting Doge, saying I'm working with the technology.
But he was on SNL the other day, basically trashing Doge and making fun of it.
Single-handedly, he's influencing a $1 trillion product he's influencing. Think about the amount of influence he has. Think about the amount of influence this guy has.
Well, did you see Peter Schiff's whole take on this? Do you think Peter Schiff's got a pretty good take on the financial system?
I think Peter Schiff doesn't give crypto enough credit as he ought to, and I think he's taking a different position on it. He does, Bill Maher does, a lot of different people do. Many of them do.
Buffett and also our friend Bill Gates, not exactly a fan of crypto.
What do all of them have in common?
They're old as shit.
There you go. Not as shit, because Schiff is not that old.
No, I didn't say Schiff.
He said old as shit.
They're old as Schiff, is what you said,
Not
so the point is, sometimes you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, what does this kid know what he's talking about? Do you realize I'm 72 years old? You realize what I've done in my life and how many different investments we've done? But every once in a while, that kid could be the next you. You forgot you were 22 and you went up against somebody. And you ended up being right, just like this kid may be right against you. It just so happens that the tables have turned.
But the other thing, too, is these guys, the older people that have the altering opinion, they like being rich. They're not opposed to making more money and maybe embracing something new. So maybe they're onto something, too. But you couldn't have two more divergent forces between the people that don't like it and the people that are behind it and are loyal to it and staying with it.
And the crypto scene. Well, tell me if you agree with this. I'll read the Peter Schiff quote that I referenced. He says, if a single Elon Musk tweet can have so much influence over the price of Bitcoin, how can anyone seriously consider it money? How can Bitcoin be a safe haven asset if a one-word tweet from Elon puts it at risk? It should be clear by now that buying Bitcoin is gambling, not investing. I took the tweet and I put a poll out to the audience. 70% agree, 30% saying no. Schiff's wrong.
That's okay, fine. Just like you say, but it's the audience. You say that, right?
And this is an audience that typically agrees with Bitcoin, though.
But it's your audience. But here's the thing to be thinking about with what he just said right there. If Elon Musk can go out there and say something in Bitcoin and it changes the market the way it does, it's not the currency, it's the individual. Meaning, if Trump went out there and said, go download Rumble, and 50 million people download it, oh my gosh, Rumble must be not real. If Bernie Sanders goes up there and says, Amazon is ripping people off, you ought to go protest, and 200,000 people show up to protest, oh my God, Amazon must be weak. No, it's called an influential person with a lot of influence at the level of Elon. I don't know what his number is right now, 48 million followers, 45 million followers. Elon can say anything. He's going to get attention. It's very simple. A college professor with 3 PhDs and 4 masters who's got 2,200 followers can go tweet something and nobody even knows what he's talking about, including his kids are probably not following his tweet. So that's called having influence. So if Peter's upset about having influence, you got to give the guy credit. Now, what Elon is doing that concerns me is I just don't know if the market, and I brought this up many times, I just don't know if the market's going to allow a guy to have that kind of power and that kind of influence long term. I don't see that.
There's a double whammy with Elon, unlike most people, where he can do whatever he wants on social media and he's got this huge following and he just moves the markets. And unbelievable. And then the media is just as much of fanboys as his followers. Everything he does immediately is brought out in every single media platform. Unlike a Donald Trump, where yes, he was covered in the media, but negatively, 100% negatively almost all the time. So here's the thing. He is a professional troll, Elon. So how much validity can we put into what he's saying? Because he might just be having fun because he's so rich, effing with people. And knowing that he can wake up in the morning, do one tweet, and have the whole world react. This could be sport for him. Who knows, right? That's why I don't put too much stock in what Elon Musk is saying about cryptocurrency yet.
So when he tweets something, you're not buying.
No, I'm not.
You're not buying Doge when he says Doge to the moon.
Although Doge, I might jump in on because Mark Cuban's behind it and it's cheap. So
Kai just put 10 grand in on Doge.
Kai, did you, or he's being sarcastic? No,
He's a believer.
he is. It is what it is.
I just want to make sure he was awake over there. Just he's on the scene.
He's paying attention. He's paying attention to the Dogecoin to see how it's doing right now. But so going back to this, if you're watching this, I'm curious. Who do you think is the current modern day best troll in the world? Who do you think it is? I'm actually curious because I'm looking at some of the stuff. People are saying Jake, Musk, all these different names. Who do you think is the biggest troll we have in the marketplace today? Anyways, here's a story of Bitcoin, since we're already talking about Elon Musk. Page 4. Bitcoin exposed stocks slide alongside the cryptocurrency as Elon Musk once again wreaks havoc with a tweet. This is a CNBC story. Companies exposed to Bitcoin slid on Monday in the wake of cryptocurrency plunging to its lowest level since February after Elon Musk suggested Tesla might have sold its holdings over the weekend. Bitcoin tumbled to $42,000 on Monday, several hours after Musk replied indeed to a Twitter post saying Bitcoiners are going to slap themselves next quarter when they find out Tesla dumped the rest of the Bitcoin holdings. Indeed, the price of cryptocurrency climbed somewhat when the billionaire clarified that Tesla still holds its stake. Elon Musk's May 13 reversal on allowing Tesla to accept Bitcoin as a payment shockwaves. Musk's Twitter announcement says Tesla has suspended vehicles purchasing using Bitcoin. Just came 3 months after the company invested billions into crypto, except it's as a payment for its electric cars. But, again, for me, if he's sitting there doing this is manipulation. You can't do that. You can tell your opinion. You can say your opinion about what you think Doge is, what you think Bitcoin is. But to say Bitcoiners slap themselves next quarter when they find out Tesla dumped the rest of the Bitcoin holdings. You say indeed. What does that mean?
I do feel like everybody is a pawn underneath, and it's a game. I really think it's a game to Elon. I do. He loved going on Saturday Night Live to tweak people for this exact same reason.
Do you think the government's going to let him do that?
No,
do you think SEC is going to allow him to do that long term?
I think they're going to crack down on him eventually.
So well.
Look at the numbers. Bitcoin at 43K, down from a high of 65K in mid-April. Dogecoin 48 cents, down from 75 cents. Even Coinbase. Right? Yep. They've plummeted since their IPO,
They're now below
down 30%.
Yeah.
I'm leery of the people that are so outspoken and so adamant and passionate about it. Mark Cuban, Elon, Robert Kiyosaki, some of these people, because they're very high profile. How much are they protecting their own brand and doing it for
to go
credibility?
Up against it?
Yeah, because they can't afford to look stupid.
Well, I have to tell you this. Here's a challenge they're facing as well. You ready? Say you got $10 million of gold. Say you got $5 million of gold. Say you got $1 million of gold. Say you got $50 million of gold. If you do, are you really going to pump up Bitcoin against gold in your investments? I don't know about that. Schiff is a gold standard guy. Kiyosaki is a gold guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silver.
Yeah, silver. And even Buffett. Buffett's not a Bitcoin guy. Buffett's more, silver. He's got a little bit of
value investing.
So the point I'm trying to make to you is there's a part of it also where people are telling, like, for example, I own a Zion Williamson card. Probably the best card he has, I own one of them. There's 5 of them. I have one of them, okay? This is probably $1 million card, okay? What do you think I'm rooting for when I watch Zion play? You think I'm not sitting there saying, I hope this guy scores 56 points, goes to the playoffs, does something. I hate to make it to the playoffs, thumb injured, all this stuff. I'm telling you publicly, I am supporting Zion to have a killer career because I'm banking on it. That's my motive. I feel Zion could be a player. So the investors, the people out there have to know when somebody makes an opinion about something, go a little bit lower and find out where they're invested in, and then find out when a guy gets up there and says, this is the greatest time to buy real estate. Who says that? A guy that owns a lot of real estate.
Exactly.
When a guy says, don't worry, stay in the market. It's going to be all right. Don't sell. Stay. Good times are coming. Who's saying that?
Wall Street.
Exactly. So you have to also sit there. When somebody gives you the feedback, you have to go to a platform where there's differing opinions and see the debate going on. But at the end of the day, people are typically going to give you what they think is the, what their main capital is in. So anyways, that's why when you think Schiff and some of these guys, there's a motive behind it.
One thing.
By the way, nothing negative. It's just, it is how we are. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.